All right, guys. So, like, one of the most craziest things that's happened, and I wanted to talk about it because it's insane, right? Little Tay just made an OnlyFans account, and that OnlyFans account ranked up over $1 million within the first hours of it being open, right? And she also had just turned 18. So I think like she turned 18 at 12:01 a.m. or whatever and dropped the OnlyFans account and made, as I stated, $1 million, and even has a screenshot of it. The weird part, nor do I want to know, have to look about it, but it's just very disturbing to see the fact that people went and did that, because if she made this account at 12:01 and there was content already on the OnlyFans, isn't that technically some sort of form of CP? Like, yes, she is now 18, but the actual making of the photo or the content itself, if it was content even on there, that's where things get tricky, and that's where things get a little weird. Um, so you can see $1 million in total, half of that from subscriptions, half of that from messages and tips as well. Let's check out some videos about this, man. Salute to the homie Omar.
You already know what the
See what he's talking
going
about.
on. Lil Tay's dropping the youngest link of the century. Mark your calendars tomorrow, 3 p.m. EST. Lil Tay rich and finna get richer.
And what can only be deemed as perverted news, Little Tay, yeah, that's right, the once famous girl who was talking about how much your grandma's house was in comparison to a chain that she had.
And dropping the N word as well. Yes, she was young, and you can say all these things, but it's weird.
Launched in OnlyFans. Let's talk about it.
This Lil Tay, I'm richer than all y'all broke ass 30 on my wrist. What is all y'all doing with your lives? I'm 9. I was born in Atlanta and I was broke as hell. Look at me now. I'm all better than you, broke ass.
She grew to fame by making these viral videos where she would essentially flex on people having.
Unfortunately, as bad as this was the golden age of YouTube. I'm saying that as in far as all the big creators who are big now, this is where a lot of them made their careers, from Jake Paul to Logan Paul to, if you want to even put me on that, this was the age. But then you had these younger people coming in at even younger ages, like Little Tay, who was taking things even a step further.
All sorts of money, saying how she was bossed up, etc., etc. And Little Tay has gone through her share of controversy in her life, not only saying the racial things, but even faking deaths, brothers' deaths, parents being abusive, all these other things in her past. But as we've grown with Little Tay, and it's crazy to say that, seeing as how she was 9 in that video that I just saw, she has become essentially a staple in our lives on the internet. I know I'm laughing, but I'm trying to be serious because a lot of people do recognize this young girl. But boy, does time fly, because
Since then, though, she faked her death, and then it came out to be something about her father was keeping her off the internet to stray her away from all the negativity. It was a lot of weird stuff that was going on with her and her family. But then once, I guess, I thought she had hit 18 already, but I guess she was 17, I guess, or 16 is whenever she came back, and she dropped some music videos and music and was doing all sorts of other stuff. But apparently, she just turned 18 now. I didn't even know that. I thought she was already 18.
right now, Lil Tay is teetering on the edge of being 18, and she does what every other young girl has done that's been on the internet for a long time: prepare an OF link. It started with some cryptic tweets where on July 10th, she said age of consent should be 18, which I kind of thought age of consent was 18. But nonetheless, this seemed to be the first indicator of her rolling out something. And soon to come, just a few days later, some videos would drop about her dropping a link and people propositioning her to do so when she turns 18.
So it's my 18th birthday on July 29th, and every mail has been counting down to it and literally telling me to drop the link the second I turn 18. Girlies, what do you think? Should I do it?
Now, this is ultra disturbing for a plethora of reasons.
Yeah, man. See, like, being an 18-year-old, it's cool, right? But in 18 is the age of no longer being a minor, right? But me being now well in my 30s, right? There still is a limit to what I would find attractive, regardless of the fact that it's still legal. Like being in my 30s, like there's a limit. I mean, I'm married. I don't even have to worry about that now. But what I would say is like me looking at her who's 18, who is a legal adult, she still looks like a little kid to me. Some people just have that type of, I guess, fetish or something, but it just I don't see nothing appealing like that. I see a little kid still. Especially she's 18, but even looks younger than that. Like she don't even look like some of these girls be 16 looking like they 30 or 25, right? She is 18, but she still like she goddamn 12.
Because while I think she is some sort of baiter for the content and all this stuff like that, I do believe, based off of what I've seen from Billie Eilish, Millie Bobby Brown, Bad Baby, that people were anticipating her and her date of being 18. And it's also crazy because her age has also been like wildly speculated over the past couple years, faking that she was one age, denying that she was another, etc., etc. So these people had to really, really be keeping track of it. So Little Tay goes on to even drop a poll, and while she did get majority of people saying don't drop the leak, there were still 31% of 100,000 people saying that she should drop
Okay, well at least humanity is somewhat saved.
the link. And we all know what the link is at this point. Nobody's oblivious. And just more and more tweets up leading to
Well, Omar,
what the link is at 100,000
she says my OF, so she ain't even saying the link on this part.
people saying that she should drop the link. And we all know what the link is at this point. Nobody's oblivious. And just more and more tweets up leading to the big old day where she kept baiting people time and time again, getting millions upon millions of views on all these tweets, adding Candace Owens, asking a good question, and getting millions upon millions of views on all these tweets, adding Candace.
You have 24 hours to vote yes or no whether I should make my OF. If you don't respond, it counts as an automatic yes. Bruh, she tagged Drake, Paul, Joe wrote like she was already ready to go.
Owens asking a good question about her maturity level at 9, getting death threats, but now 18 getting the OF link. This was a very, very weird situation and circumstance. Why it's also weird though is because there's times where Little Tay was baiting the fact that she is still very, very young. And it's weird on her behalf because it's disgusting that you would use that as a bargaining chip or a marketing tactic, but it's also disgusting because it's working on people.
You already know what the fuck going on. Lil Tay's dropping the youngest link of the century. Mark your
The youngest link, wow.
calendars tomorrow, 3 p.m. EST. And nobody, including my family, including the grown-ass haters, is gonna stop me. You know why? Lil Tay rich and finna get richer, bitch.
The youngest link of the century is mad devious. Well,
Yes,
the day of
it
reckoning
is.
came and Little Tay did it. She announced it on her Twitter page that she
I did it. Link in bio. All content shot at. Okay. So this is one thing that I speculated, and it's good that she at least said this because, at least now we know that the CP thing is not potentially true. But this is basically what she says though. Link in bio. All content shot at 12:01 a.m. on my birthday. I wonder if does it matter what what state she was in, because she's on the east side, still technically 3 hours back into California. B-Day special only available for 24 hours. Come talk to me. Wow.
She did drop the link, and she had to make sure that everyone was confirmed that all the exclusive content was shot at 12:01 a.m. on the 18th birthday day. I hate to be a technical person here.
Exactly. That's what I was more so like concerned about, but obviously we hear something.
But Little Tay, unless you were born on 12:01, then that.
Wow, Omar, you are technically speaking. Technically speaking, yes.
That still means you were underage when the content was shot. If you were born at 5 in the afternoon, you gotta wait till 5 in the afternoon. Oh, God.
Technically.
This is sick. That was sick. But what makes it even worse, though, is that in just a short 3-hour span, Little Tay reportedly made over $1 million when it comes to making OF content. She said, not bad for 3 hours. We broke the fuck out of the Onlyfans record. What are we doing?
$1 million? You guys made her $1 million because you couldn't wait for her to drop content? If you didn't know, Lil Tay decided that when she becomes 18 years old, she wants to hop into that type of industry. And just like Bad Baby, she just made $1 million. Shawty straight up said, I don't want a normal job. I don't want to go to school. I want to do this. And made $1 million. And from what Twitter is saying, them fiend out dudes got finesse. It's dudes crying on Twitter saying that they got scammed, saying that all they see is normal photos. Do you not see the overall issue that you even went to go pay for that?
Absolutely.
Do y'all just made her $1 million off of being thirsty, bro?
And for the most part, I think that is true. Somewhat, at some point, I think there is true. I think it is a scam. I don't think anything will come out of it because she's too big of a person to where if she did like drop something that's like crazy, it would have been flooded on Twitter by now. It would have been on Twitter by now, IG. It would have been everywhere.
This is Bad Baby all over again. Y'all made Bad Baby what, 23 million off of being thirsty?
There's so many things wrong with this, but we've got to unpack how we even got here. I've talked about it on this channel, and I think a lot of people would agree that the way that we go about putting young kids on the internet is totally disgusting. It's the reason why people like Casey Neistat have completely left his children's public faces off of the internet. Sure, he's shown some of them, which now in hindsight is probably even too much. But being a public entity as a child on the internet, unfortunately, attracts PDF files. Like, there's no other way to describe what is going on in real time. And especially in the wake of that one guy who had the islands list seemingly disappearing from the government's, eye, I think it's very, very, very telling as to how we as a society deal with these things when it involves kids and sexualized behaviors. Before Little Tay even made this drop, there were people foaming at the mouths on Reddit about the potential content that she could be dropping. Literally saying that, hey,
Lil Tay is 17 and Reddit is losing his mind. The very idea, absolutely disgusting. I know she baiting with the OF thing, but on the other hand, she's rebellious enough. She might just do it. Just imagine. I don't need NSFW, just a few erotic pics, and I'll be gooning for days.
I know it's bait, but I literally cannot control my urges and my lust.
Hi, this is 911 emergency.
The only thing is, like, that's definitely weird and unacceptable, but this does seem like it was typed from a 14, 15, 16-year-old as well. Just the way they said it. It's gooning and all that. Like, these kids be saying crazy shit.
Hi, this is 911 emergency. How can I help you today?
Yes, I would like to report a nigga wildin'.
This situation even looks worse knowing that Little Tay has been known to lie on the internet. And not just lie about stupid and silly things, but literally lie about her age. And this is to the point where Google can't even keep up. There's been tweets of her having to correct her age. Google is wrong. She's saying she's one thing. She's saying she's that thing. But literally in a year's time, she just went 18 years old. Now, I will say that OF does require users to be 18 years old. They do their own version of age verification check, so we should be able to, at least guarantee that way if we're trusting OF that Little Tay is 18. But there are people out there that literally think that Little Tay is 14 years old, like she told us back in January of 24. And they were the ones who were saying, I want to click on the link. Drop the youngest link in the game. One of the bigger problems with this is that these young women, after years and years and years of being sexualized, have been indoctrinated to believe that, hey, sex sells. I need to use my gifts and my assets to go towards, funding my lifestyle or whatever the case may be, and ultimately manipulate this audience of men or give them what they want and cave into their fetishes. I really don't know the best technical way to describe this, but these young women do know these things, but this is only after years of being called X, Y, and Z, Schmexy, LMNOP, I can't wait till you turn 18 years old, etc., etc. Bad Baby literally did it and broke oodles and oodles of records. So while it sounds gross, it does make sense that a young woman would leverage her fan base that is begging for this stuff to, kind of tap on those pockets. Even though they know it's wrong. Little Tay was seen retweeting not too long ago that it should not interest you or become attractive to you when a young
Lil Tay retweeting this and then weeks later announcing Onlyfans because she's fresh 18. Yeah, I don't like this one bit. If you're a grown man, a girl turned 18 should not be attracted to you.
girl just turns 18 as a grown man. And that's also why she is putting these, non-risque pictures behind this paywall. She is just feeding on these people's disgusting desires as opposed to, fulfilling their actual fantasies. They can't even control themselves to know the fact that they're being baited, but they still want to dive deep into Little Tay. I'm sorry, that's so gross. I don't even think I know of another profession in which I can make $1 million in 3 hours. And trust me, a lot of content creators, if they found a way to tap the pockets of those people that consume their content, would. That's why some of us start Patreon to give exclusive content at patreon.com/Omizi. But no, on a serious note, there's a lot of creators who, if they had an audience in which they could tap the pockets of, they definitely would. But sadly, they don't, or maybe good thing that they won't. The question is, would you do it or would you not do it? Specifically in this manner. And the only reason
No.
why young women are doing these specific things is because sex work has become so normalized in today's day and age.
Lil Tay just made $1 million on OF within 3 hours on her 18th birthday. Please let that sink in. Listen, I'm not here to judge anyone on how they make their money, but I do think it's creepy that the internet sits and counts down and waits for girls to turn 18. Trust me, I get the hustle, I respect the bag, but when society makes girls, teenage girls, feel like their most valuable asset is their body once they turn a certain age, that's when it becomes a problem. Let's bring back shame, because all it took was 3 hours. 3 hours for her to make 1 million. This is the same thing that happened with Bad Baby.
Unfortunately, that's just not gonna stop. We don't work on that type of time anymore in this world. Shame doesn't. There's no more shame. There's no more shame.
Bad Baby made 16 million off of OF, and even she says it's weird how people signed up so quick when she turned 18.
For this video, I've been talking about Lil Tay and other youth content.
But she feel like it's weird now because she got the money. But if that money got taken away and stripped from her and she was back to square one, I bet she'd do it again.
Creators and their desire or begging from their audience to drop OF content. But if we're being real, this stuff happens not only for the young women content creators, but literally for all women content creators. No matter the niche, no matter the lane, as long as there is a male presence in it and you are a woman posting content, there are going to be men begging you to drop an OF link.
Stop asking me for the link in bio for my OnlyFans. I don't have an OnlyFans and there will never be an OnlyFans.
You're thinking about how much money you'd make on OnlyFans. Listen, have I had the thought, like, I wonder, mathematically speaking, how much I would make? Sure, most girls probably have thought that. But have I ever actually considered doing it? Nor, absolutely not.
It's happened to some basketball creators that I watch that are women. Yes, people are asking them to drop OF content. And it's happened to some car women content creators that I watch. Yes, people beg them to drop OF content. No matter the age, no matter the race, no matter the demographic, any sort of thing, niche, whatever, there are going to be men begging you to drop OF content. And the question is how/why? Why as a society are we this gooned out? And how do you think it's appropriate to ask every single content creator that you meet or see on the internet that has boobs to drop an OF link? How do you think that that's a way of going about life? Only to then criticize them.
I think you said it, man. Sex is normalized. Sex is normalized, and there's no more privacy in the world. Like, I'm not here to blame women either, but there's so many women doing it and showing it working that's where women are, growing up and just falling into it. Like, it's not, and then you can blame the women there, but then you blame the men because they're the ones that are quickly out there just throwing the money out. So it's both sides of the table. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to say who to blame, but the gooning, I think, is just from the desensitizing of things in general, from sex to murder, everything. The internet just puts it all out. So, people rather just pay $5 to get a photo on OnlyFans than actually, meet a girl in real life and get her to send you some photos.
For then doing the thing that you asked them to do by calling them whatever and over-sexualizing them more and more and more and more and more. Now, a lot of times people do resist the urge or, cave in to make $1 million in 3 hours by dropping the OnlyFans link. That's disgusting. And I'm not faulting anybody that does do it. I'm faulting the consumers of the content, the people that just see women as objects and automatically want them to go the OnlyFans routes. I'm faulting the dudes that then DM Lil Tay stuff like this, describing and depicting how you got off to the OnlyFans content.
Wow.
That's just
I just feel like that's a troll, man. But Who knows?
Just super duper weird. We've talked about gooning problems in America for years, but now it's getting to a point where it's way out of hand. Women can't even exist on the internet without
Block
being
anybody that spams them and make it OnlyFans. I'll never happen. I'd rather be off social media entirely and restart a different job if that career fails, which it won't. Nothing wrong with people who do OnlyFans. It's just not my lifestyle.
sexually harassed, and I just think it's just the most disgusting thing in the world. I don't even think there's really a message at the end of this. I think it's crazy that there are sickos that are waiting for these young content creators under the age of 18 to turn a certain age in order for them to drop the OF. I think it's disgusting that people are asking any woman content creator to drop OF links, even though that's not their bag. It's also strange to me when I see women who post like beach photos and stuff like that that's a little bit outside of their niche. OF link coming soon, link coming. That shit is all so weird, bro. This shouldn't be something normalized. Sex work should be taken much more seriously than just, hey, I turned 18, drop a OF link. The people that are, you know, engaging and encouraging this nonsense really need to be put on some sort of FBI watch list.
Okay. Let me know you guys' thoughts and opinions on that one down below, man. It's wild. Definitely wild. Peace.